Hi everyone, this is Lori from My File Addiction. Today I'm going to talk about Rhinestone, installing a typeable Rhinestone font onto your computer and then working with it in Cricut Design Space. So here I have my typeable MFA script 156 font, and after you've purchased it, you're going to download it onto your computer, and it comes in as a zip file. So the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to unzip this file in order to get to the files that are inside of it. So you can either do that by right-clicking on the file and hit Extract All, or you can double-click on the file and then you can hit Extract All here at the top. So I'm going to extract the file. And what this does is this actually now creates a duplicate file within your folder that you saved the original zip file. So this one has a zipper, and then here's one, and it no longer has a zipper on it. So that's the folder that you're going to want to go into. In this file, I have a couple different files available. The first one is, or the first two are PDF files, and the first file is how to install your TrueType font. And what this PDF is going to just show you or tell you is some basic instructions to download the purchase file to your computer, locate the file and unzip, locate the unzip file and open it. Right-click on the TTF file and then select to install. So the next one is how to size your font. And what this is going to show you is the point sizes that you're going to have to use to resize the word that you're going to type out. And you're going to size it to the stone size that you'll be using. So the most common stone size is an SS10. So typically most people are going to be using the 156 point. If you find that your design is too large and you want to downsize it, you can't just make the design smaller to whatever size that you want. You have to make it smaller by using a smaller point size. So that means when you use a smaller point size, you have to change to a smaller stone size also. And that goes along with if you wanted to make the design bigger, then you would actually have to go up to an SS16 stone size, and you would have to type in a larger point size. So here is the file that has the that's the actual typeable font. And we can double click on this, open it up, and then what we're going to do is we are going to select the install option here, and this will install the font to your computer. And after it's been installed to your computer, it now becomes a font menu option for you to select when you type out your wording in your design program. So since I already have this installed on my program or my computer, I'm not going to reinstall it or anything, but those of you that don't, you would hit the install option, and then basically it just installs right on into your font folder. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open up our Cricut Design Space program. If you had already had your program opened up before you installed the font, you're going to want to close it and then reopen it again, because chances are that font will not be it will not show up in a previous version that of the program that's been opened. So you need to close it out and then reopen it back up, and then the font should be there. So we're going to go into, I'm going to launch my Cricut Design Space program here. And we're going to select New Project. And now what we're going to do is we are going to go into our text option, and we're going to go to the font menu up here. And we're going to want to scroll down and find our MFA font. Okay, so it's not actually in the Cricut Design Space program. You would think you'd have to go to the MF, but it looks like it's the very first font that starts with your M, the letter M. So we're going to select that. And now we're going to go to our text box and we're going to type the word bride. And then what we're going to do is, I deselected it. Now we're going to select bride again. And I'm going to go up to my font size option up here. It defaults to 72. And what we're going to want to do is highlight that. And we're going to override and we're going to type 156 because that's what I said we had to type in for an SS10 stone. Select enter. And now our design, our word bride is sized perfectly to cut a whole size for an SS10 stone. So remember when I said that, it has to be a specific size, because as you increase or decrease this word bride, think about it, the circles get larger and smaller. So we know that in order to cut our template material, our circles have to be a certain size to cut the correct size for our hole. So now, because I typed in 156, these will cut the correct size hole for an SS10 stone. So our next option we have to look at here is the spacing for the word bride. Now you have a letter spacing option up here, and if we start, you can select the up arrow, which will add more space, or you can select the down arrow, and that's going to decrease the space between our letters. Now, as you can see, between the R and the I, it's getting to be where those are a pretty good space between those two letters, but the rest of them have a larger space. So let's try one more. I'm going to bring it in one more. And so now, in order to correct the spacing between the other letters, we're going to have to select ungroup. Now these become individual letters. And we're going to select the D, and we're going to use our arrow option, and we're just going to arrow over, and then we're going to select our E. We're going to arrow over, and we'll select our B. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of zoom in just to kind of check the spacing out to make sure everything is good. So might be a little bit close between the I and the D. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to select the D. I'm going to hold down my shift key, and I'm going to select the E, and then I'm going to move those over. Now see, the gap is too big. So now what we'll have to do is we'll have to manually select, hold down our left click mouse and manually move it over ourselves. So now that everything looks perfect, and the next thing you might have to do, I'm not sure how the cutting works with the Cricut cutter, but you may have to select the entire design and group it back again. So now it is now all one word again. So I hope this information was helpful. Thanks for watching.